Hi everyone! Today we're going to be learning about the human body and the different systems that are in the human body. We're going to start learning about the circulatory system, so the heart and the blood, and then we're going to also learn about the respiratory system, so breathing air in and out of our bodies. So first, I just want to talk about a couple vocabulary words that are important. So we've already learned about chemicals like molecules, atoms that are inside our bodies. Those molecules bind together and work together to form cells and organelles. When we have a bunch of cells together that are the same type, this is called a tissue. So many of the same cells working together for the same function. So for example, our skin is a type of tissue. We have many cells working together for the same function. When a bunch of tissues work together for a common function, this is called an organ. So things like our stomach, which there's a picture of here, our heart, our brain, our lungs, all of those are different types of organs. When many organs work together for the same function, that's called an organ system. So for example, here we have the digestive system. We have many different organs, the stomach, the small intestines, large intestines. All of those work together for the same function. Okay, so those are a couple vocabulary words to remember. We're going to be looking at a couple different systems. The human body has many different systems. We have the muscular systems, all of our muscles, our skeletal system, so all of our bones, circulatory system, nervous system, respiratory system, and there's a few more that we're not going to get into in this class. So let's start with the circulatory system. Circulatory system, and the word circulate means to move around, move something around. So the circulatory system is moving blood around the body. So the function of the circulatory system is to transport oxygen, nutrients, and waste products around the body. Okay, so you can see here we've got the heart, which is the main organ of the circulatory system. All of these tubes are called blood vessels. Blood vessels or arteries or veins. We're going to just say blood vessels for now that carry blood around. Blood is that liquid that's inside of your blood vessels. And this is the substance that is carrying the oxygen, nutrients, waste products like carbon dioxide. All of that is inside of the blood. And the blood is moving around the body to deliver the oxygen to the cells because cells need oxygen to make energy. The main organ of the circulatory system is the heart. The heart, corazón, right in the middle of your chest. It's about the size of your fist, and it acts like a pump, right? A pump is something that pushes blood all around the body. Okay, so it's a pump in our chest, and it helps to push the blood all around the body. It has 4 parts. You can see 1, 2 at the top. Those are called atrium. Atrium is singular, atria is plural. And at the bottom we have 2 larger parts. These are called ventricles. And all around the outside of the heart you can see these walls. Those are actually muscle. So the heart is a strong muscle that is helping to push the blood around the body. And I have a little video here where I can show you the heart pushing. Okay. Okay, here you can see the heart is pumping all the time, pumping blood around the body. We have the atrium up at the top. And the ventricles are down at the bottom. Well, the left atrium on the other side of the heart. And the ventricles are always squeezing, pumping to push the blood around the body. You can see the blood inside comes into the atria first, and then the blood pumps into the ventricles, and the ventricles are really strong muscles that can push that blood all around the body. Okay. Oops. So that is the heart. Now let's talk about the blood vessels. So first of all, blood is the fluid and cells that travel inside of the blood vessel. So inside here, inside all of your veins in here is blood. And that helps to transport oxygen, nutrients, and carbon dioxide, which is the waste product. All of those things are inside the blood. The blood vessel, so the tubes, and a tube is just like a circle, like a hose, and the blood can flow through the tube. So the vessels are tubes that carry the blood. There's 3 different types. There are arteries, which carry blood away from the heart. Capillaries, which are the very tiny, small blood vessels where oxygen can move into or across the membrane and carbon dioxide can move out. And the veins carry blood back to the heart. They carry deoxygenated blood, or the blood that is low in oxygen, back to the heart. Okay, so that was a quick introduction to the circulatory system. Why don't you pause the video for a second and see if you can answer these 3 questions about the circulatory system. What is the function? What does the heart do? And how does blood travel in the body? Pause the video and see if you can answer these. Okay, now check your answers. The function of the circulatory system is to transport oxygen and nutrients to the body cells. The heart pumps blood around the body, and blood travels through blood vessels through the body. Okay, now let's take a look at the respiratory system. The respiratory system, let me move myself. The function of the respiratory system is to move oxygen into the body, right? When you breathe in, you're taking oxygen in, and we're taking carbon dioxide out of the body. When you breathe out, that's carbon dioxide. The main organ of the respiratory system is the lungs, which you can see here in the middle of the chest, pulmones or pulmão. I'm not sure how to say it in Pashto, but pulmonary, anything with P-U-L means lungs. Okay, now we can see here some more organs of the body for the respiratory system. So I'm going to talk about how the oxygen moves in. So when you breathe in, the oxygen comes into your nose or your mouth, and that kind of helps to clean the air. Then it moves down the trachea, which is your windpipe right here. You can see that's your trachea, and into your lungs. The branches here, so these tubes, these air tubes, are called bronchi. And as they get smaller and smaller, they're called bronchioles. So bronchi are the larger tubes. Bronchioles are the smaller tubes here. All the way at the end of the bronchioles are very teeny tiny air sacs called alveoli. Alveoli. And those have very small blood vessels called capillaries around them, so the oxygen can move into the blood and the carbon dioxide can come out. Underneath the lungs here is a muscle called the diaphragm that helps to open and close when you breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. It's a muscle, a diaphragm. Okay, so now if we look here at the alveoli, move this, oops. The alveoli have capillaries all around them. So it's a very tiny alveoli here, and the capillaries are a blood vessel that goes on the outside. So oxygen comes into the lungs. Here's the alveoli here in the lungs, comes into the lungs, and when there's a high amount of oxygen, it can move into the capillaries, into the blood. So now this blood is called oxygenated. There's the word here, oxygenated, because it's full of oxygen, has a lot of oxygen. And the heart pumps that blood to the body cells, and the body cells can use the oxygen to make energy. and then the cells release carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide comes back into the blood, and we can breathe. That carbon dioxide moves into the alveoli and we breathe it out. Okay, so the oxygen comes into the alveoli, then into the blood. Carbon dioxide is in the blood, moves out into the lungs. Okay, so in summary, the circulatory system and the respiratory system work together to bring oxygen to our body cells. And if you remember, all of the cells in your body need oxygen because that's how they make energy so that cells can function. Your brain cells, your skin cells, your eye cells, every cell in your body needs oxygen to function. So the circulatory system and respiratory system help to bring the oxygen to those cells. So first, the lungs take in oxygen from the air. The oxygen moves from the alveoli in the lungs into the blood. The heart pumps that blood to the body cells so the cells can make energy, and they give off carbon dioxide as a waste product. That carbon dioxide flows back through the veins, blood vessels, back to the lungs, and then we can breathe the carbon dioxide out. Okay, so it's a cycle. I hope that helped and made sense. We'll continue to do some readings, which will help get a little more information. And I will see you later.